We're building a rigging system here that will require a block set high in the tree above me. I'd prefer not to climb the tree, so we've used a throw line and set the throw line in a crotch above me. Now, we've then pulled this yellow double braid into the tree, and it will serve as the sling or the support line for the block. Then I've put the rigging line or lowering line into the block, okay? Now, by pulling on the other end of the double braid here at the tree in the porter wrap, which will ultimately be secured too, I'll raise the block up into the tree, and then I'll have the two parts to work with as my rigging line. The limitation here, or the concern, might be that the reaction force on the limb above has the potential of being 4 to 1. Now, in some cases that might be all right, but it requires that we think through the whole system and identify the forces that we might subject the rigging line to, okay, and then determine whether that limb might support it or not. If we're concerned, there's another method, and that method is known as a static removable false crotch, and we want to take a look at how that's done. Here's how we install a static removable false crotch. I started by pulling two parts of the rigging line up and over the limb by tying the throw line to the bite in the rigging line, okay? Then I took the block and I opened it up and set it into the bite. The sheave is now resting on the bite. Then I formed a loop in the end of my yellow double braid, okay? I formed that loop by making a round turn in the rope. And then I formed a bowline that actually has its bite in the loop. Okay, the reason for that is because the loop will be used as a sling only. The standing part of the rope will not be used, it will not be loaded. It will only be used when it comes time to then remove it again afterwards. Note that these two parts of the rope, okay, the lead and the fall, or the parts that we'll be working with, are in the loop, okay? Now, we need a lot of rope for this. You'll notice that whatever height I'm at, and I'm up there a good 55 to 60 foot in this tree, so I'll need 4 times the rope in order to pull this off. Or I could start with a smaller diameter cord, a long cord, perhaps 1/4 inch or something like this, and then once it's all finished, I could then pull the rigging line in. That's one alternative. We want to choose a block that will pass through that loop in a way that it won't bind. And we'll have a closer look at that above. Let's go ahead and install it. Now, the standing part of the yellow double braid, we really just want to place it out of the way. We don't tie it off because all we've used it for is the end to form that loop. So we can set this out of the way, and we have our two parts of the rigging line to go to work with. Now, to remove the static removable false crotch, I'll come back to the standing part of the yellow double braid. Remember now, at the end, we've formed the loop that is actually giving us the sling to hold the block in the tree. But now we've brought it back, and I'm going to tug on it, and the block passes up and through the loop and around the limb, and I can pull it down.